So we're here to talk about Facebook in general. So the concept or the intention with this group is Corky and I have been meeting to help work on strategy. The intention with this group is to get people to easily help expand the reach. Here's the thing with Facebook. You post on Facebook business page, and I'll talk about more things in a moment, about the difference between profile and a business page. You post on a business page, Facebook only sends it out to about 10% of your followers. So I can't remember how many are on this page here, what, 300?
Sure.
So only 30 people are going to see that post. But if everybody in this room simply went and liked that post, Facebook will go, wow, this is trending, we should send it to more people. So then it automatically starts sending out to a wider and wider audience. If you're consistent on posting on Facebook, which is what we're going to brainstorm on first, is that Facebook will start sending it out to a humongous audience, and the whole intention is to get this message spread out to your audience within a 10-mile radius. So you will be able to reach thousands of people.
Awesome.
So my background, I've been doing Facebook now for 8 years. It took me a whole year to get into Facebook because I'm a very private person, believe it or not. I do PR for a living, but I'm private. I didn't want to look at people's kids and their food all the time, so I really waited a whole year. People kept saying, you're a great communicator. I was old school marketing, doing the email list, the posters, networking, looking at people in the eye and shaking hands. I've learned I can now do a single post and I can reach tens of thousands of people. So I have two projects that I'm known for. One is Campbell Water Tower, started it 4 years ago. Basically I talk about Campbell. Just talk about Campbell, positive things about Campbell. That has close to 12,000 followers now. So when I post, I'm reaching thousands of people in a split second. A year ago, I started a project called Los Gatos Town. I went to work with the Los Gatos Chamber. They didn't understand social media, so I started this project to teach them, to show them, lead by example. And a year later, I now just reached 6,000 followers yesterday. It's the second largest following in Los Gatos, so I talk about Los Gatos. I put a post up on Los Gatos Town 2 days ago. A tree had to be cut down, and they turned it into a cat statue. I knew it was going to be really hot. So 2 days ago, somebody actually sent me a photo. I said, thank you very much. I put it up on my page. Very simply said, new cat in town, hashtag Los Gatos Town. In 2 days, it's reached over 30,000 people.
Wow. I've seen that too. He's doing a good job.
It is a gorgeous thing. I knew it was going to be, I knew it was going to draw attention. And when I post something and it starts getting activity within minutes, within the first hour, if I'm into 20 or 30 likes, I know there's something happening there. Then I put money behind it. We're not going to get into advertising and customized audiences today, but we're really going to be talking about what we can do for the center to expand the word. So I have a list here of, it's actually now 16 different things you can do. And I think I have enough. I brought in 20, being optimistic. I think I might be able to reach that number. So what I'd like to start with is, I want to do a brainstorming session where we can talk about what the center can talk about. And then I'm going to run through these 16 steps. And then I will answer every single question you have on Facebook, about Facebook, for the next 2 hours. I have to go to a concert in Los Gatos later today, so I have to end it at some point. But you'll quickly learn that I love talking about social media, and I do it every single day. So part of social media, or Facebook specifically, is being consistent on your posting. So I started working with Corky about creating event pages for every Sunday, about creating different campaigns that you could do. So one of my 4 steps to success is to create campaigns that you can do. On Monday I do this, Tuesday I do this, Wednesday I do this. So I have this structure. And then on top of it, what I do is emotional posting. So I see something that moves me, flowers, people, pets. I'll take that photo, put it up on my Instagram, feed it into my Facebook, feed it into my Twitter. And so that's on top of those regular campaigns that we will start doing. So my hope is to come back once a month and keep this group moving along. But I'm also going to meet with Corky a few times in between, just so I can sit with her and point at the screen about what to do.
I need that.
Okay, so my very first question to you, open-ended brainstorming session, is what would you like to see posted on the center's Facebook page?
Aside from events?
Well, let's start with events. So, how many events are there? And somebody wanted to actually really take notes here for this? So, obviously you have a Sunday service. I saw a sign when I was walking in. I paused there. I see what, yoga What else is happening here?
Classes.
Ministerial classes, we have taekwondo, we have
Ecstatic
self-defense, we have
Ecstatic
psychic
dancing.
readings, we have ecstatic dance.
Vortex
we
healer.
have vortex healing, we have drumming, we have Taga,
The children,
Ayurvedic.
deaf.
parents of
Parents
under
of-
children,
yeah.
and age retreats.
Wow.
And
See,
then-
that excites me that you have that much content that you could be organizing and putting together. I like to create event pages. I work for Smoking Pig Barbecue. Oh, right down the street.
Right?
I started there 4 years ago. They had 1,500 followers. Now we're in 3 locations and we have 17,000 followers.
Do you think you doing it is what's helped them grow and get more locations?
It's in part. I mean, I'll take some credit, but what I did is I got hired to win Best Barbecue for them in Silicon Valley, and we've just won it 4 years in a row. And that's because of social media. So let's just talk about the power of social media for a second. So, Smoking Pig, since I mentioned it, he brought me in 6 months before the contest and said, go win this contest. So I worked on building up their campaigns, getting their social media following. The morning that contest started, I had campaigns and posts ready to go. And as soon as they went up, I let them organically grow for an hour, and then I put some serious money behind it, and I reached over 50,000 people in the first week before any competitor mentioned it on their social media. That's an inside tip. That's how I've won it 4 years in a row. I won it 3 years in a row, and I quit before we found out the third one because I was tired of talking about barbecue. My kid's a vegetarian, so I can only handle barbecue for so much. But they brought me back this year in January and said, you know what? We want to win again. So he brought me in January. Contest started in January. Just pulled my notes from the last 3 events, or 3 years. Got it set up, launched it that morning. Again, hit those 50,000 people, and we won for the 4th year. He's very happy. I'm getting a little tired of talking about barbecue again, but I just really want to emphasize the power of social media. So any book that you're writing, just getting that word out there, but just putting out more positive stuff on the internet is really what my goal is. Healer by trade, I do marketing for a living.
Okay, and John, did you just come in, John? I just saw your smiling face. And John wears so many hats, it's hard to keep track
Sorry,
of him
I'm trying to
sometimes.
stay
But he's doing a self-defense class here, and which I think would be great if we could somehow push it. And
Great.
because there's so many women that are scared these days of going out at night.
Right, and you could set that up so you have a custom audience targeting women of a certain age within a 10-mile radius. Right? I mean, you can get really specific. Right now, I have a custom audience. I'm working for Las Gatas and 2 zip codes of a certain age range, and it's having fantastic success. But we're not going to get sidetracked on advertising this month. But we can
Next
talk about that
month we'll get
privately.
after that.
So events is really obvious. So creating an event page within the business page is a great way to show history. Smoking Pig, they have music twice a week up in Fremont, Friday and Saturday. So we have event pages for years. There's event pages that have been created. So what I like to do with event pages is include the venue and the artist. So in the future, anybody that searches for that artist, our event page comes up as well. So when you do your event page, whoever, I can't remember who the speaker was today, I think it was you speaking. So Dottie Boone speaks at Center for Creative Living. So Center for Creative Living will be in the title of every single event page. And then whoever your speaker is will be in that event page title as well.
Yeah, I said, right now, I guess it's probably a lazy way to do it, but I let the constant contact, because I put a lot of focus on constant contact, and so then that downloads to Facebook, and then, but it's not specific. It wouldn't necessarily, it talks about the subject that she's writing about, but not necessarily the subject that the speaker is speaking about. So that would be. Yeah, I can see I really need to parcel it out.
Right. And I'm not quite sure what the reach is on those constant contacts that go there. And I almost look at that as distracting. So as I said a week or 2 ago, is I would actually stop feeding from constant contact and posting directly.
Right.
Because what I would do is take a photo, put her up, talk about what she's doing, and then boost that out.
Right.
So it stays in your photo albums for later when people always think what happens 6 months from now. 6 months from now, somebody finds you. You're discovered. They want to see what this group is up to, right? So they'll go and look at your photos, your events, the happy faces, the love that you are all projecting. These are really cool things. Your page right now, and I don't want to sound harsh.
That's okay.
Sorry, Corky.
No,
On the camera, sorry. You're not humanized enough. Humanized and localized are two things to really start getting into.
Yeah, I send it through Constant Contact, so I don't have to go to Facebook to do it.
I understand. And so part of
Can I
this,
be humanized and keep my clothes on?
well,
No, that's idolized.
you do want to keep it clean or just boost it to 21 and over.
What was the other one?
Community, localized.
Localized.
So when I come into any project, I always want to humanize that project. You know, I want to see the speakers. I'd like to see the healers of this center. So once a week, one of the campaigns I suggested is that we, however many healers we have, 7 here?
Yes.
These days? So once a week, Monday mention of a healer. Boom, there's the healer, this is what they do. That's 7 weeks worth of content. Next time through, you can do the 7 healers again, maybe you have more by then because they want to come in here. You talk about what's expected, what's special about them, what's their benefit. So that's 7 weeks, and then 7 weeks, so you're now at 14 weeks worth of content on every Monday. See how that makes sense?
So for instance, we go, who it is, what they do. At that point, would we say, the services and how much, maybe their training. I don't know how much to put in it.
To start with, it's just a simple introduction.
And how much they charge, or just what they do?
I've never
or-
talked about money.
Okay.
The target is you want to target people that don't think about money, they want the service. And they'll pay whatever that is, and they'll keep coming back. If you put in money, just like the Groupon, the Groupons bounce, right? They go for the next best deal. We're not looking for that type of audience in general when we're building a brand.
Right.
What we want is people that cannot wait to get a hold of that person. And then those healers will start having waiting lists, and then you'll start having people wanting to come in here to rent
Okay,
space.
you guys, I'm going to be interviewing you.
So part of this is, we're talking about how to help the center grow by doing these 16 steps, but we might want to start recruiting 2 or 3 people to start helping Corky. So Corky takes care of the Monday mention. I got a hand up over here.
Yeah, Annie said that
Do I have
she would-
another hand? Come on, another hand.
I want to
There we
do
go.
the throwback, because I've got all the videos and stuff.
So Throwback Thursday is very straightforward. Everybody knows that. Tuesday testimonials.
Isn't there also
Good news.
transformation?
I thought it was,
Good News Tuesday too.
Good News Tuesday? Okay. There's so many different types.
Transformation is Tuesdays.
Transformational Tuesday's not bad.
Tuesdays.
But I love testimonials. Testimonials, like, asking everybody in this room why they come to this church or center.
we got quite a few here that don't. So they're gonna have their own businesses, they're gonna do the same thing.
Right, and everything we're talking about here can be applied to your own business, right? So I'm focusing on the center, but really this is to stimulate all of you to do your own thing. Because the bigger following you have, and the same thing with the healers, I want to eventually have a meeting just with those 7 healers, get them all launched on business pages, because then they can share content from the center's page onto their own page, and then it helps you both. Everybody wins. So yes, I'm focused on the center, I keep talking about that, but this really is applicable to your own stuff. And I know there might be a couple people in here that are on their own right now. Does that make sense so far? So Wednesday Wisdom, Throwback Thursday is the history, Friday Favorites, Sunday Fun Day. It's unlimited. I've been doing it so many years, I have like 50 off the top of my head. But we want to get to a content calendar so we know on Monday we're doing the mention, Tuesdays, transformation sounds better than testimonial in this case, but whatever that is, and then we can assign a person to take that specific post once a week. So Regina's going to pop in and help on Fridays, right? Every Friday she's going to post.
What?
Just recruited her.
Sure.
I've known Regina for a long time.
Thursday night.
And the thing about posting on Facebook is you can actually schedule. So one of my early gigs, I worked at Sonoma Chicken Coop. I was only there for 4 hours a week. I went in 2 hours every Monday. I had to schedule the 5 weekly specials, and then the music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I did it all on Monday. So on Monday, I created all the posts and then scheduled them to come out. So at 11:30 a.m., 5 days a week, you're going to see the lunch special featured that day, right around lunchtime, right? But I scheduled it that morning on Monday, and then I kept an eye and I managed it throughout the week. So don't think, if you're assigned to Tuesday, you have to do something on Tuesday. You can do it Sunday night when you can't sleep and you have all kinds of great ideas running through your head. Does this make sense so far? Mm-hmm. What else could this center talk about?
Just human interest stories.
Great. I love that.
Spirituality, churches.
Yes. You can post news articles.
Diversity.
So On my Los Gatos town, 2 days ago, I posted about a development. They're going to take away the post office. I knew it was going to piss people off. A lot of anger was going to come. I copied the link to the article. I took out 3 sentences that I knew would cause a reaction. They lost the plan, the long-term plan of the city. They lost it. I thought that was funny. The city's not going to be, or the town's not going to be happy about it, but I thought that was hilarious. And then I talked about how they don't like how the view's being taken away, and I talked about what they're actually doing is taking away the post office and putting up 3 stories.
Oh, that's going to be great for the view.
Right. And so they're going to take away the mountains view from the farmer's market, which I knew was going to create an issue. So I copied the URL from the article, the www, put it up there. It loads the article, and then I erase the link. So when you go to the page, you see my 3 quotes, and then there's the article. And then you're going to see 40 or so comments. They're not all very nice. So then that gets into the management, where I have to go through and I have to manage every single one of those comments, because if you use inappropriate language, I'm going to remove it. Rarely happens, and of course it would never happen in this group where you guys are posting.
Hell no.
But you need to stay on top of it. So you don't want to just post and then walk away. You actually want to work it, right? Especially when I'm boosting something, I work it like 10 times during the day. But beyond the classes I see in the window, the classes that we were talking about before, the healers in the room, leadership, board members. I don't know if you have board members.
Yes.
I would like to see who's in charge of this organization.
Yeah, Dottie.
Yes. And we know.
We go way back.
I'm not going to start praising her because I'll start crying. But major influence in my life. I consider you saving my life.
Oh, there it goes.
I know.
Breathe. Give him some energy, you guys. Give him some energy. Come on.
Yes. So but who's in charge? You know, who's really volunteering? Give a shout out, a thank you. See people in action, right? Taking a photo right here, I should take a selfie and post it on my page. And then I could tag the people that I'm connected to. It will go onto your page permanently. There's just so many different things you can do with
Well,
social media.
We'll do that, won't we?
Shouldn't we tell everybody we're here?
Well, we could check in, but I always find it takes much longer. But that is actually on the list. So in the future, when Corky says before church service starts, all right, everybody turn off their cell phones, it's now going to become, all right, everybody check in on your cell phone and then turn them off.
Instead of put them away, it says get them out.
Right. And that's why I didn't bring my computer with my presentation. I really just thought we would run through some stuff on the phone.
So when you say check in on the cell phone, you would go to CCL's Facebook page and like it? Is that what you mean?
Well, we're going to do that as well, but you can just check in on your own status. You can just say, I'm at an amazing,
She just did it.
there we go.
I think when you start.
But I don't know what that means.
So are you on Facebook?
Uh,
So if you post a status, you could say where you're at, and then down below there's a location button, and this is why we're not all going to do it, because it always takes much longer than I always anticipate.
We can do it later, okay.
But there's a way to push down there that says that you're here. And so when you check in, it goes through your news feed to all your friends that see that you're here, right? So what do we have, 20 people here? I'm just guessing, I'm not going to count. But 20 people checking in, saying they're here at the center, will go through all 20 of your news feeds.
Okay, but doesn't that, I'm going to be the devil's advocate, doesn't that just announce to somebody that your house is vacant and if they know where you live?
That is the downside. Right, but the only people that see that are your friends. And if your friends need to know when you're not there,
That's okay.
I would kick them out of my, right?
Well, you've got a husband.
It depends on your privacy settings too, right? So these are, I'd like to stay positive, but I do hear that every once in a while, and thank you for that feedback, right? I'm a little enthusiastic about social media. This is how I feed my kid, so I'm into it. And I do hear
And
that
she's
all
in
often.
college now,
But
so-
you're right, it's just going to your friends, it's
Right.
different than it going out.
Right, if you're going out to the public, you know, we're not boosting it out to robbers in the world.
I'm going to be gone for 15 days.
Right.
Nobody in the house.
And
Dang.
never post that you're going on vacation. Never post photos from vacation until you get back. But if you're just here at church for 2 hours, you should be okay. And again, it's your friends on Facebook. So be selective on who you have as a friend. And also, they don't know where you live unless you have your address on there. No one has their address on their Facebook page. So there's a lot of,
You taking yours off?
it's okay to check in. If you're not comfortable checking in, of course, don't do it, right? It's all about your comfort level. But imagine, like I said, you checking in with all these people, and you could even tag people. So Regina, when she checked in, she probably tagged a few of us.
I will.
She was thinking about tagging us, so that would see us as well. So that's just another way to create these ripples. And so what I love to do is create ripples of positive goodness
So
online.
you're gonna tell us where that spot is, right? Where the
Hold
sweet
up,
potato-
I'm sorry, it's the chicken?
Yeah.
Does everybody have Facebook
there.
access on their phones?
I know, you don't wanna do
I
it.
don't know my password.
So there's a Facebook app. I recommend everybody get it. If you have a page,
Thank you.
I recommend you download the Pages app.
Okay.
They're two different things. I have a lot of pages I work, so I love my Pages app because it lets me bounce between my pages. But if you have a page, it's just a lot easier using the Page Manager's app.
Yeah, that's not much.
Any questions of what I've been rambling about so far?
So there's a Facebook app and then there's a Facebook page app?
Facebook Page Manager's app.
Manager.
So if you're posting on a page, it's just a lot easier to use the Page app. It just takes you right to your page. And you can see statistics and other things like that.
How is it that you get to actual your page per se?
Well, do you have a page right now?
Well, I don't know, I've got my.
You have so there's a Facebook profile page and there's a business page. So profile page, just to summarize it, so profile pages are you have friends connected. And then a business page, people can like it. So you can control your profile page, and I keep them completely separate. I keep your privacy to your profile page, and then your business page is your public. So posting on your business page and then sharing occasionally to your profile page is one strategy. But if you have a page, it will show up on your Pages app. Because if you're logged in as your profile page, it will take you right to your Pages app. I mean, Pages. Does that make sense?
I just get the news feed, I don't know.
So do you have a business page?
No.
Okay, so then, in your case, you would log on to that, I mean, you'd get onto the Facebook app, and then you could put in the centers page. That actually would be a good idea for us to do now.
Okay.
I'm gonna start getting into the list,
Okay.
without handing it out, because I know everybody's gonna start reading the list. So everybody pull out your phones,
Mine's at home.
then sneak a peek. I can't imagine going anywhere without my cell
Well,
phone.
you know,
I love that, actually. I
I was
wish
in
I
the car
could.
and I realized I'd forgotten it, but I was late. And I
Right.
didn't know this
It's cool.
class was happening.
It's just a little fantasy of mine. I can't, I'm on 20 times a day, so. So if we all get on your Facebook app and we go to the centers page, Center for Creative Living, right?
Yeah.
You can all see their cover photo.
Sorry.
Right.
about the dance, you know.
Now this is one thing that people don't know. I'm assuming everybody here has already liked the page. If not, right there is that thumb up to like the page. Now here's something that people don't know. When you like a page, the default is a default that you might or might not see the post. But if you click following next to like, you can then see first. Remember I was talking about how a post only goes out to 10 to 15% of your followers? By clicking the follow,
We're not seeing that. Now, here's what happened to it.
so this is your Facebook,
Yeah,
Facebook app.
you were there. We had come to the thingy, and
In your case, you probably want to open up your pages.
where'd it go?
So,
Well, none of that stuff looks familiar. Go ahead. Go
where's
the
your,
other way.
I went to the top.
let's put in your Center for Creative,
See it?
do the search on it. Is everybody following me on the like and the
It's very well in
follow?
Facebook, okay.
Because most people don't click on the follow to see first. That way you'll have a higher probability of seeing the posts. Yes?
How can you check to see who is following
On your business page?
you? Or either,
Well, on your profile page,
Oh,
these are
maybe
your
because
friends.
it's
You can
yours,
click on
you
your
can't
friends,
like
you can
it.
see them all.
uh-huh.
I've not done this in a long
If you
time.
own the page, you won't see a like.
You know,
You should.
You should, we're not seeing a like.
I just now got on.
I type in their name.
It's
You see a like anywhere?
it's under
Here's
Insights.
Joan.
Uh-huh.
Under Insights,
Hi,
far
David.
right column down low, it says People. You can
Okay.
click on that and it'll bring up all the people. Because you could also kick people out.
Center Creative Living.
Yeah.
Oh, hit that
Again,
arrow.
you rarely have to, but it's good to have that option. But I like to know what my
Where's the like
percentage of women to female,
Right.
and then I like to see how localized I am.
Okay, now how do you find
Take it
out?
out.
So
That way?
by looking at the people, it'll bring up, well, first of all, if you look at I think it's the likes will tell you what city they're from.
Yes.
So And then if you click on the people, it'll tell you which people are following you.
How do you get?
This is where I wish I had my laptop and I could show you really
I
easy.
think I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Right, so it's good to know in case you want to remove somebody.
Yeah.
Again, rarely happens.
But can people, they could just use a false name, but somebody else could be looking at it that you don't really know the person.
Well, it's private information on your page of who's following you. People outside, I can't see who's following you, for example. So that's protected.
But you can see it.
Yeah.
People can see who's following you.
No.
Yeah, there is a
Okay,
way.
so he said to do that?
I hear what you're saying. I've never found that in my 8 years of daily experience.
Uh-huh.
So, no.
On
You
pages?
used to be able to.
What pages?
How long does it use?
Well, years ago, you used to be able to click on the likes and bring them all up. But that's in history now.
Okay.
Like if you went to my pages, you wouldn't be able to see who's following me.
So.
I'm sure of it.
Okay, let's.
But if you find a different answer, I could be wrong.
I'll look right now. So this sign up right here, what's that?
Okay, so this is really key. This liking the page and then following and seeing first.
She doesn't get the
If you
like
like it,
thing
then
on
you
her.
follow.
It's probably because she's the administrator of the
I got the
page.
thumbs up and I just don't have the,
Did
okay.
you guys get the like? Sign
I haven't even gotten the CCL, so.
Which one?
Okay, so
I'm trying to get.
Okay,
the
so
CCL.
they have a sign up button on their page, I'm assuming it's for their newsletter.
Why don't you touch your?
You can see people?
Because she's typing in.
What page?
Okay.
No, we're talking about a business page. So, did you click on the follow?
Well, business page is a little different, yeah.
Right, and I think even on the friends, you can only see common friends. Is everybody cool on the follow, see first?
No, I haven't even gotten the
Okay.
CCL. I just got to send it for creative.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're checking in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't have it, it's not up yet.
Well, it's waiting for you to enter your data. You've already, you added the location, so right there it's saying, what are you up to? So say that you're attending a social media class.
So,
This is really important, so we're gonna drive this home before we go forward.
no upcoming events.
Right, because they haven't created the events, and that's what I'm encouraging them to start doing. This is kind of a launch that we're going through.
Who's buying?
And I need to get her support, that's why I wanted to pull everybody together. Okay, who's having struggles with the see first?
I just can't get it.
So we liked it and then we followed it.
Right, and when you click the following, make sure you click on see first under the following.
Okay, so we checked in, what's on you, attending social media, okay. So then we like it,
Right now you're under default. Now you're on see first.
react.
So this way you'll have a higher probability of seeing the content that comes from this page. And the whole thing I want people to do is when they see content is to like it, to make a comment about it, and even share it. And then Facebook goes, wow, we need to send this to more people. And that's what we're going. We're playing the Facebook game. Because we're at different stages, I'm going to start passing these out. I know this is going to become a distraction. So these are 16 things we're going to do.
So now we can get back to CCL. All right, so how do we get back to CCL? This is CCL.
You're not sure what.
Next to it.
So these are no cost. Does everybody have one here still?
Check. You did that. No, but we have to get back to CCL.
Isn't that interesting that it's not coming up? There it is.
So.
Okay, so it still looks like you're trying to check in there.
Well,
This is
I
our third
checked
check-in.
I posted,
So let's stop checking in because you
Okay,
checked in,
but
it goes
why-
through your line, went through your newsfeed, went through your newsfeed twice already.
but it just sits at this place.
Well, let's cancel. Yeah, hit the cancel and then load the page.
I don't know what you mean by load the page, so now I'm back to Google.
So I think you're inside Facebook, so we should type in, are you in? Did you open up the Facebook app?
I don't have an app. I went to Facebook, I checked, I changed my password so I could get into Facebook. I got into Facebook, we found the Center for Creative Living, we liked it, and then we answered, we're here, and
Okay.
then,
So if let's cancel this. Why isn't that going? Because there's a, so we're going to keep going. So there's a Facebook app. Is everybody else good on the Facebook app? Getting into the center's page, liking the page, and clicking follow. See first. Yes, we're good?
Yes.
I'll help you personally after, okay?
Okay. I don't have a Facebook
Okay, so on the CCL business page, right? We're talking business page, not profile page. We're just going to roll through this list. So when Corky starts posting, or the team starts posting more often, you can add a comment to that post. It's very simple. Looking forward to this event. You guys rock. Can't wait to see you. Just something short and sweet. Facebook takes it in their algorithm thinking it's a popular post, they need to send it out more often. You can suggest the center's page to every one of your Facebook friends.
Yeah, the thing is, my page.
That's another thing to do. Even if people are out of the area, go ahead and suggest the page. If you have your own business page, suggest it to every single one of your contacts, even if they're out of the area, because everybody that likes that page, like somebody liked the page today, it goes through their news feed and others will see that page. So suggest the page out. What I typically say is, the first of the month, go through and see who else you can suggest your page to. Because if you become friends with somebody, like I become friends with you, I'm not going to send you a suggestion to like my page today. I'm going to wait a couple weeks and then I'm going to hit you up with it. I just think it's a little smoother that way. Because when somebody becomes my friend and then they send me their page immediately, I look at too salesy for me. So suggesting your page to the Facebook friends, you can like your page, you can like a page as your business page. It's a little more complicated. You have to hit the 3 dots up on the corner. You like a page as your page. This is getting into advanced. It actually goes through your newsfeed saying that you like that page, your business page. And then there's a button you could post. So let's talk about that for a second. It's advanced, so just roll with this, okay? Hang in there. So for my Los Gatos town, I've gone and liked every Los Gatos town that's active that I approve of, and I've liked it as my Los Gatos town page. On my page, there's a button that says see posts from other pages that you've liked. It brings up all the content from all those pages. I can then like those posts as Los Gatos town. So I go and find 5 to 10 different pages, like their content. They get notified saying Los Gatos town liked your page. For the center, what I've suggested to Corky is that she likes the healers pages, for example, and then the church's pages, maybe some motivational speakers. So then when you click that button to see posts from pages that you've liked, you could quickly like that stuff and you could share it onto your own page. So we have all 70 healers have their own pages. They will have their own pages. We've liked their page. We can like their stuff, and once a week we could share their stuff onto the center's page to give them exposure, which then they'll should like because you've just helped them out for free.
Now, can we, we have a lot of ministers here who do weddings. So can they, take a picture of the wedding, ask the couple if they can put it on their web page, and then send a copy to us to put on ours?
Well, they put it up on their social media, so on their Facebook page,
Right.
and then you could see that post if you click that one button. So I would do this in the afternoon. Every afternoon, I pick up my kid at 3, so at 2 o'clock I'd start, go through my post, like 10 things, then go get my kid from school. So it just became this routine. So all these people saw my brands, and that's why I now have 18,000 followers, which is stunning when I think about that.
How many years did it take you?
It took me 4 years to get 12,000 followers at Campbell, and I just got my 6,000th in my first year in Los Gatos. Because I took all that year's experience and I've applied it, right? So, but 6,000 followers in a single year, that's great. And I use it as a marketing tool, so I can do that for you for just a small monthly fee.
As a marketeer kind of guy, and that is stunning. I mean, how do you touch 6,000 people going door to door?
Right. And to imagine how much that would cost for direct marketing if you're trying to mail something. Like the post I put up, 30,000 people in 2 days.
I mean, you don't even know where those people are coming from.
Right. And so you could target people on social media, on Facebook, you can target them extremely specific. How much money they make, or if they own a house, if they're a parent. I mean, it's stunning how much it goes. Just 1 second. You.
Can you apply some of these strategies to sites like Instagram where it's pretty much all pictures?
Yeah, I mean, there's a strategy for every platform.
Okay.
There's also a language for every platform. Like Instagram, for example. Instagram would be the second platform I strongly recommend you get going here at the center. I find that Facebook has longevity and the advertising is freakishly great. Instagram gives me fast engagement with people. And you can post to Instagram, again, a little advanced, post it to Instagram, feed it to your Facebook. But really there's two different languages. You want to use hashtags on Instagram, only a couple on Facebook, but that kind of gets into it. But yes, you can't do as many of these things that we're talking about. And I'm talking about specifically, this list is about Facebook, because I want to blow up in a good way. I got my camera here, so I have to look at the camera every once in a while. Blow it up in a good way to really get the word out, right? For everybody's best interest. Sorry, 1 second. You had a question?
Yeah, how did you build up to 6,000 followers in a year?
I post it consistently, and then I study the advertising. So
You advertise as well.
I advertise, yes. And so I have a targeted market within Los Gatos that I'm targeting, and then I took that market outside, 10 miles outside of that, and now it's just going nuts. So anybody can do it, and these strategies work for any industry. That's what's cool about it. These are just, processes that I've created. They're doing it every single day, right? It's just what I do. So yeah, it is an accomplishment. Yes?
You mentioned the hashtags, and I don't really quite understand what they do.
Okay, so a hashtag is more popular on Instagram, so I don't want to talk about too much, because I want to try and stay on Facebook until we're done here. But a hashtag is like a topic. So if you did a search on Instagram for, say, hashtag Los Gatos Town, you'll come up with 700 or so photos that I've posted. And so you could see all these different things. The way I use hashtags to grow my business, answering this question over here, is I do a hashtag search on, say, Los Gatos Farmers Market. I'm not sure how we would apply it to here, but anybody that's posted a photo that used the hashtag Los Gatos Farmers Market has a high probability of wanting to follow Los Gatos Town. So I do the hashtag search on Instagram. It brings up every photo that has that hashtag. I can then go and like those posts, and I can follow that person. And a percentage of those people will follow me back.
So the hashtag Center for Creative Living, then when they click on that hashtag, they see all the stuff
That everybody in the entire world has ever posted about it. So it'd be great if I got 20 different people posting photos and hashtagging Center for Creative Living or CCL. Center for Creative Living is kind of a long hashtag.
Yeah.
But people won't know what CCL is, right? So as part of the hashtag is you want to use your brand. So that's why I always use Campbell Water Tower or Los Gatos Town or Smoke and Pig Barbecue.
Automatically fill it in eventually?
Yes, it will start showing up and you can just kind of click on it and do it. So I use that to leverage for Instagram. We were talking about strategy for platforms.
Right.
Now how we would apply it for this one, I'm not sure, for this group.
Well, we do things that apply to here. We take trips. So if we went somewhere,
Right.
last night we went and saw the Rainbow Range Forest. which
Campbell,
was, in Campbell, which was great because some of the people were here today.
That would be a great photo to take and post. Because that's your localization.
Right.
And it gets it away from being too salesy. Too many businesses get hung up on, here's my product, here's my product, here's my product, buy from me. You want to mix it up. In my brands, I have well, I'm blessed because I can talk about anything. But you never know what I'm going to post about. So people literally come to my page to see what I'm doing instead of me trying to go out there. But it drives me nuts when I see a restaurant posting only food or a retail shop just posting only clothes. You want to humanize it. Put those clothes on a person. I had this debate with a retailer in Los Gatos. She keeps putting photos up of clothes that are flat on the ground. Put it on a person. It would just be 10 times better. I want to see what it looks like on a person. So it's kind of like finding out what it is. So if you guys did a search for like spirituality or churches in San Jose, I'm not even quite sure. We'd have to think about that a little deeper because this is a unique place. But if you did it for like hashtag spirit guides, hashtag chakras, hashtags meditation, that kind of complements where you're at. And somebody that hashtag chakras, for example, they would be open-minded to come to this place. And so that might be a person to go follow on Instagram. Again, I don't want to get too lost on Instagram because that's another hour in itself. Yes?
I actually found this place by searching on Yelp for spiritual advisor or spiritual counselor.
There we go. There's 2 hashtags right there. So every time Dottie posts, she should be using hashtag psychic.
California Psychic.
California Psychic would be her brand, and doing the hashtag for psychic alone. Psychic readings.
Or reading.
In Instagram, you could use as many hashtags as you want. I call it hashtag heaven. On Facebook, you only want to use 1, maybe 2. I break that rule, so if you look at my stuff, I don't always follow what I say, because I build brands. Yes?
What are the privacy rights or privacy features that may be with what you're suggesting? You know, liking somebody because it's a humanized posting, and
Right.
then you sort of start using that or whatever, and then this person comes back to you and say, you know, I don't like you.
And I said, well, then you don't know me. Just kidding. We're talking about a business page, and a business page is public. You're thinking about profile page, which is private. Like, we're not connected on Friends yet. Maybe later, but not yet. So I can't see your photos and like anything or make a comment. So you have that privacy.
But when
And
you
the
put your
thing with-
Ayurvedic page up, he can like you as an Ayurvedic practitioner.
Right. So that's a whole different story. The
Say that
profile.
again, say that again. So when I like your page as an Ayurveda practitioner, what?
Well, she's talking about your own page. When you have a page, do you have a page
We have
yet?
to create a business pages.
I have a page.
Right. So if I go and like it, you could see who I am, and then you could ask to be my friend. Because I actually track everybody that comes in and likes my page. But that's over the top. That's still more advanced. I want to try to stay as basic as we can to get going.
You're describing
But
something else.
for clients, I very strongly suggest keep your profile private and your business public. Post on your business page and share to your profile, business page, share to profile, but never post on profile and share to business. I'm an overprotective parent, so that's just kind of where I just apply that to my clients as well. If you want to be more open, like realtors are very good at, they're over the top on posting on their private page all the time. I don't like that. I want them to have a business page and then only occasionally talk about their business.
So how do you get all your followers over there? If you've got 500 people on your personal.
So you have 500 people on your personal, you suggest your page to all 500 of those people. Statistically, only 20 to 30% will follow you. It drives me nuts a little bit because I have 1,000 friends. I'll invite every one of them to my brands, and only like 200 will come over and like my page. And I'm like, hey, where's my other 800 friends? Just like my page.
Well, what about the
Yes,
temporary?
friends is correct.
The temporary kind of, my experience is it's so temporary. If you don't see it when it's posted, it gets lost. 10 hours, if I don't look at for 10 hours, it's lost.
Right, so you could scroll back. I know people that will scroll back their newsfeed to when they last left and then go back through it. They obviously have a lot of time on their hands. But you could also have people click see first under following, and they have a higher probability of seeing it. But that's true. The newsfeed it's organic. It never stops.
Right.
So that's why you want to put out such great quality that people come to your page to see what's there. So for Los Gatos Town, I have the biggest engagement of anybody in town. People now come to see what I've come up with next.
Because you're the guy.
I'm just winging it because I have sources. So I know the different news sources in town. So I go find their content and I put it on my page. Links to their stuff. Like that article I was talking about with the post office. I didn't write that article. I found it in the newspaper. I went and copied the link, and I'm driving hundreds of people to their website, so they're happy. But I'm generating, I think I reached 9,000 people today, and I didn't spend anything on it. And I only have, that's 200%. Okay. Does that make sense? Yes.
I would like to invite everybody here to like my business page.
Okay, so how we do
Which
that?
one is that?
So Regina's Healing Haircuts.
REGINA_S, Healing Haircuts.
I don't know how to do this. I'm
Okay.
the Center for Creative Living, so how do I
You
get
need
out
your
of
reading, and use your Reiki while you're doing it.
So,
And then after you like my business page, you'll get to see all the strange articles I post that have nothing to do with hair.
so along that lines, you want to like her page, and then also click on the follow, see first. That's that extra step that will help you get to see the content.
And I don't post a lot on my business page.
So several years ago, when you said that you can't see the Center for, when Dottie was doing the prayers, then that meant you should have, and I couldn't figure, neither of us could figure out how to make that happen so that you could get it in yours without having to go to ours and share
Oh,
it.
yours comes on my newsfeed now.
Well, then, because you probably did the see first thing.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so I go to Regina,
_S. REGINA''S, Healing Haircuts.
Guess I-
So this will also be
Okay.
a question for the center, is that, for example, would you want to like her page? Because it would be really good. So I'm working with chambers now. I'm actually in Los Gatos, Campbell, and Saratoga, ironically. And what I'm having the chamber do is like all of their member pages, just like I've liked Los Gatos pages and Campbell pages. So if the church liked all their member pages in addition to the healers, every member can go to that spot on the page and like everybody else's page, instead of doing it one by one like we're doing right now.
And so on.
Because that's really where I'm headed, is I want to work with organizations to help them the whole organization grow, not just a single person.
I kind of need you to say that part again.
Okay.
Where instead of doing one by one, what do we do to do?
So you can't do it on your phone. So if you have a laptop or a desktop,
Okay.
you can like a page as a page. So basically,
Okay.
you could like all the healer pages are obvious, but I think you might want to consider expanding it and liking your member pages as well. And then you could like it makes it very easy to like your member pages
Are you
posts.
talking about business pages?
Business pages specifically, right. It's all about the business page, nothing to do with profiles at all. And then your members can go to that section on your business page that says pages liked by this page. They can click on it and all your members' pages would come up, so all your other members could like everybody's page.
So it's kind of like connecting the dots.
Yes, right. So imagine that if you had, say, 200, 300 members that are active. You'd have 200 or 300 pages there. Anybody that came could go and like those 200 pages, which help every one of those members. I started with focusing on the healers because I want to basically build up the revenue of the center, right? I'm not sounding greedy, that's just a
come in
fact. I
here
want
an hour
sustainability of the
before
center.
You gotta pay rent.
But you could expand it into the members. So that's what I'm pushing the chambers to do, is like all their chamber members. So any chamber member can go to that list and like all other chamber members. It's an asset to join the chamber.
Great idea. Facebook party sounds like a great idea.
Facebook parties rock.
Can I interrupt again? I did post something that was hair related, but
Okay.
it's more of the example of what they can do when you're on the page. In that if you go onto the business page and you're gonna see this baby born with rare snow white patch of hair, her mother, her grandmother, and her all have this patch of beautiful white hair. And because this is my business page, I can see that 10 people have seen this post since I sent it out a little while ago. Facebook will tell you on business how many people have looked at what you've posted, whether it was a good post or a bad post.
And that's
And then
something
you can do from
to
there.
really be aware of when you have an individual business page, is to know what the reach is. Because when you put a photo up, you get certain reach. You put a text only up, you get certain reach. You put a link to an offsite website, your reach goes down. Because you're taking people off of the platform, which then means that Facebook can't make their $1 billion this week, so they won't send it out to as many people, unless you come back and spend money. In the old day, a few years ago, posting a text only would reach 3 times as many people as a photo, because they wanted you to post a photo and then pay for it to go out wider. My own opinion, I have no proof behind that. Now it's changed, so being aware of what your reach is per post is actually really good. If you post 2, 3 posts in a row right next to each other, your second and third posts are not going to reach that far. The first post will, but the next 2 won't. You'll start to see patterns like this. And that's managing a page.
What is it sending them off the page if you put an article?
So if you had a link to your website, because you want to drive traffic to your website, because that's what we really want to do, Facebook will not send it out to as many people because you're making people go to your website, which takes them off of ad potential generating on the Facebook platform. Only my opinion, but I've seen that stat. I look at stats all the time. I like patterns. Yes?
My understanding of the algorithm on Facebook is that posts that are more popular or from more popular pages will tend to stay higher up on news feeds. Like the news feed's not like chronological; it just kind of goes by like what people are commenting on, and that's what you'll see first. So, if that's the case, then I would imagine that a post that reaches further, the more far-reaching posts that CCL has, the higher the chances are that staying higher on people's news feeds.
Yeah, the default in a news feed for Facebook is most popular. And then I like to click that and go to most recent, because I want to know what the recent is. But then it always defaults back to most popular. Because they also want it to be popular so they can send it out to more people and make more money off their ads. It's money, right? That's how it rolls. Okay, let's keep going on the list. So, when the center starts opening event pages, so we're going to start, I'm going to encourage Corky to at least start with one for every Sunday.
Yes.
She'll probably be 4 to 6 weeks ahead of the schedule. What I'd like for everybody to do is to click that you're going to that event. Whether or not you can make it is not my issue right now. It's about you clicking that you're going, because when you click that you're going to the event, it goes through your newsfeed saying that you're going to an event at Center for Creative Living.
We need people to
which
do
then
that
helps
every
build the
year.
brand, right? So just by clicking that you're going is a great benefit.
Clicking that you're going also reminds you 2 weeks later that you plan to go, because it'll come up in your news feed that
That's true.
you have an event coming up
Right.
tomorrow.
So like the event page, I create event pages for everywhere I speak in public. So Corky clicked that she was interested, so it went through her news feed that she's interested. Then she came back and she clicked that she was going, as I think she just found the going, so it went through her news feed a second time. And I'm like, right on, high five, right? Because to me, it's, Campbell Marketing is talking here at the center. So it worked out well. But if you click that you're going, and then you can invite your Facebook friends to come to the event. Now, I don't think I would invite every friend every Sunday, because they would probably get tired of that. But maybe once a month, make an effort to invite extra people to come to this event. Even if they don't come, at least they got notified that there's an event happening here at the CCL. Does that make sense? You could share that event onto your profile page, which then goes through your news feed. You can also share the event onto your business page, which then goes through the news feed. We're still talking no cost, we're talking 5 minutes of time.
Clifford, one other thing. Does it add anything if you have music with it, other than just a picture when you're doing it?
Maybe it might, I've not been.
No, because sometimes the download of the music, it takes longer than I want to do on that picture.
Oh, okay.
Especially if
It's
people
more,
are using their phones, it takes up too much of the data, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
right, to me it's really about having the photo and then pushing it. So the idea is that we're going to have event pages set up forever now. And then on Monday, maybe Corky, because she's going to be 4 weeks ahead of creating these event pages.
Yes.
Then on Monday, she can share that event and talk about how excited she is about it. And then on Thursday, she can do another post about the speaker that's coming, or maybe reverse that. Monday, mention the speaker that's coming with a photo and what they're going to be talking about on Sunday. Promote the event again on Thursday about what's going on Sunday. So you have an event page that goes through the news feed, and then you do a post on Monday and then a post on Thursday. You suddenly have 3 posts going up on a single event. Calculate that out over 52 weeks, and we have 150 posts right there. Does that make sense?
Don't people get tired of you?
If you don't like my content, you can leave my page. No, because it's not excessive. It's also a variety. Because you did the event page 4 weeks ago, and then on Monday you talk about the speaker that's coming. I'll be like, wow, I want to see the speaker, because it changes it. And then on Thursday you can either share that event one more time, but that's 3 or 4 weeks later.
Okay.
So it's stretched out over time. I have a client I just started working with that creates event pages, and they create them boom, 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 all on the same day. And their reach was absolutely horrific. I wrote a report today to them saying we have to raise our game. I don't know how they're going to take it. Adding a comment to an event page is nice. I don't know if it helps the reach, but why not? Does that make sense on event pages? So we really want, and the thing I like about event pages is that you have a history. So again, somebody finds you 6 months from now, they can click on your event pages, they can see what you've been doing for the past 6 months. One, it holds accountability for you to make sure you're changing it up, but it also gives a person an idea of where you're coming from to pique their interest to come in and visit. And that's really what we want to do, is get people in the door to have the experience.
Thank you.
Sorry, camera's throwing me off a little bit.
That's good.
Again, get people in the door to have the experience, and then hopefully they'll come back, right? Spread the love. Hashtag spread the love. Any other questions on event pages? Click that you're going, occasionally invite your friends, share the event onto your profile page, share the event on your business page. No cost, and it helps the center.
It helps the center if you share from the event don't click onto something, read it, and then share, because then the CCL doesn't get any recognition for it.
Say that again?
When my sister goes to my web page or my Facebook page and she likes an article that I have put on there, she goes and reads the article and then shares the article. So when she shares the article, there's nothing about Regina's Healing Haircuts in it, it's just the article.
But that's a post onto the business page,
Right.
like in the news article I was talking about.
Right.
So that's just one of those things that happens.
Yeah,
But still-
to understand that when if you share from the business page as opposed to the article, then it's shared as Regina's Healing Haircuts, and oh, I love this article, now it's through my sisters. So then she's promoting Regina's Healing Haircuts, even though she's in Ohio.
Okay.
Instead of just promoting the article
So
that
I hear what you're saying. Unfortunately, when you share from your page, it only takes the article over and forgets about you entirely.
Yeah.
You can check it.
That's horrible.
But we're talking about event pages, right? So we're talking about event pages and just sharing the event page to spread the word. Hashtag spread the love. I'm going with that one. I like it.
You gonna keep that one?
I'm keeping that one. I'm using it. So that's event pages. Does that make sense? So on your personal page, right? So we talked about business page. We've talked about event pages. Now on your personal page, checking in, and as you can see, some of us had a little trouble checking in, but it would be really cool if you're comfortable checking in 10 minutes before service starts. Not
Yeah,
right
we
at the
can
very
start
end.
walking around going, hey, before you check in.
So how many do you have for church? 40, 50 people? Let's just go with 50.
Sure,
So
let's.
50 people, the room's filled, they all check in. You're talking thousands of people are gonna get the word about the service. And it could be, so excited for CCL's service topic today about, self-love or spirit guides or whatever it is.
Hashtag share the love. yeah.
That would be really cool, putting out that positive vibe out into the internet. You could share the center's page onto your own profile page. There's just a share button up on top. Just share it over and saying, this group has influenced my life. Check it out. Their page will go on your newsfeed. It'll go through it to your friends. Another simple way. You could share content from the page. So on Monday when we mentioned the healer, you could share that post onto your own page talking about this really cool healer here at the center, which then that extends the reach from that post. The post I have going right now in Los Gatos town with this cat that got made out of a tree that they had to cut down, I think it's been shared 154 times. So 154 people have sent it out to their own page saying they shared Los Gatos town's page. So people see that post, they get the positive emotional experience, and they tie it into my brand. In that case, they think I'm part of the town, but I allow that confusion on purpose. But sharing content will greatly enhance the reach. You could also add a place of employment saying that you work here at CCL as a volunteer or a member. It will go onto your page permanently saying that you're part of this organization. And it goes through your newsfeed. So you can see all these things that keep going through your newsfeed. You're now talking tens of thousands of people that will see the Center for Creative Living name. And that's 59 minutes. In my last minute, any questions?
Just how do you do that again? How do you say you're a volunteer? You just post it
So on your profile page,
on your profile.
you can click on your About and click under Employment. I'm assuming it'd be okay if they said they're volunteers.
Oh,
right?
yeah, sure.
If you said your members, I actually don't know if you could have the title volunteer, but I think you can. I've never done it. But the idea is to get everybody to put, saying that they work here as a volunteer. It goes through your news feed, and so on average people have 300 friends. So at least 300 to 500 people are going to see that you work here. You're going to get all these people saying congratulations on your employment, even though we know it's not, you're volunteering. But it's just a way to build the brand, and that's the intention of what we're talking about.
Well, you work here, you have an office here.
I do.
So then you
You're a
really do.
reverend
Yeah.
What's your title?
I'm a healer and a reverend.
So then we're going to change it, volunteers out,
Okay.
right? I don't know if healer is a term you could use, but why not?
Now, Paul is a volunteer.
No.
Right, but even if you just went for the volunteer, I'm kind of just trying to keep it generic. It would help build the brand right? So these 16 steps, we're talking tens of thousands of people could see it, hundreds of thousands of people. My water tower project reaches over 300,000 a month. I'll probably break 5 million this year, touching people. 5 million.
And I just want to say, I appreciate the concept. I appreciate the concept of
That's what I like
just
saying.
sharing love, not that we're trying to get everybody to come. I mean, I've always thought, well, why post it because I only have room for 10 or something like that. Instead of, your whole concept is it's more about just putting positive stuff out on the internet.
Right, that's my first step.
That changes my whole perception of it.
Right. What I always look at is building up your brand, so we create a waiting list. Okay, we have a waiting list.
You have a waiting
right?
list, and that makes people curious.
That makes it's a whole other thing, because we have a waiting list, you collect the emails, you start a newsletter. We haven't even talked about email marketing, and we've only really talked about Facebook. Right? So there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's LinkedIn, there's Pinterest, there's Tumblr, there's Snapchat, which my kid says not to get into. I'm too old.
So, can I ask you a question?
Please.
Why are so many people interested in the water tower, your water tower site?
Because, well, the water tower is an icon of Campbell.
Well, I know that,
Right.
but why are people all over the world interested in that?
Well, it's not. It's really, because I'm hyper-localized. So I am Campbell and San Jose, and I talk about it, and I have, 12,000 people in the local area that want to know what's going on in Campbell.
Yeah, but you said you had 1 million hits or something.
Right. I'm going to reach 5 million people this year. 5 million times I'll reach somebody. It's going to be the same person a bunch of times.
Oh, not
Right.
5 million
It's not-
different people.
well, that would be sweet. But give me another year.
So CJ,
Yes. Thank you.
can you share with them, because I don't know if they see the bigger picture, what does all these things equal for their businesses or the center, how they can profit from it?
So this really is about expanding the reach to ensure the sustainability of the center, right? We build up the healers. You have more healers that want to come, you can raise the rent. And I don't want to sound greedy here, but it's business too, right? So you have a line of waiting lists of people trying to get in here. Your church is really about spreading love. In my world, that's how I look at Dottie. I look at her as love. That's what she taught me, love. So just by spreading the love, there's so many people out there that are hurting. So even if they don't come in here, I'm getting chills on this one. I can prove it right there. You're spreading love, so you're home, you're in a wheelchair, you can't get here. Boom, here's some love. Feel it, right? So that alone is it. From a business standpoint, people, and everybody should apply this to their own business as well. It builds up your practice, right? You start talking about what you do, which is positive, but it also gets people coming to see you. And then you take the people that are coming to see you, you start your Tuesday testimonials, which is people praising what you do, which then brings in more people, which then helps your own sustainability.
Yeah, because I'm a consultant.
Okay?
I specialize in sales and marketing. So I know what you're talking about. So the question, some of these are business owners, they have their own practice and things like that.
Yes.
So the question is, it's not a younger group, so it's a lot of work to them, and a lot of it is they need to be more comfortable with it. So the question is, why should they go through this? So part of the question is, okay, so yes, I'm gonna have more followers, but how's that time gonna equal to me making money so I can pay the rent and Dottie can raise the rent?
So part of that, so the deeper thing is,
Yeah.
so I've been superficial to a large
Yeah,
degree,
yeah.
right? Because I really just want to get it started.
Yeah.
A politician's trying to hire me he's running for county supervisor. I can't wait to get into politics. But he contacted me and said, hey, run an ad for me right away. And I'm like, no, I will help you post 9 things, and the 10th post will be hitting them up for money. So your call to action is not every post, it's your every 5th, every 7th, every 9th, every 10th, where you start telling people to get a hold of you. Take action today, come to my event, call today. So your call to action is filled in there as one of your campaigns, but I also just wanted to get things started and get off of the constant contact on the page. And this does take time.
Yeah.
I hear it all the time. But everything I've told you today is no cost. Getting into advertising is a whole much longer conversation, and it works really well. But this is a great way to build your following, to have revenue come in, right? And it does take time. The thing with social media is it's not going away. It's only growing. It will never go away. It will change new platforms and more people, but so on Facebook alone, there's over 1 billion people that get on Facebook every day. There's only 3.5 billion on the entire planet that have access to the internet. So 1/3 of the world gets onto Facebook every day. Inside that 1/3 of the world, 1 billion people, there's got to be 10 million, 100 million people that would like your services. So finding those people through targeted advertising, being consistent with your posting, putting up quality posts will start drawing them into you. Does that answer the question? How would you answer the question?
To me, it's still kind of organic, because when I deal with especially small business people, they don't have time. They don't want to learn it, and they don't have time. So they need it, they understand they need it, they don't understand it completely, but they know they have to have it. So the question is, they don't have the time to learn, they don't have the time to really do all these posts.
Right.
So the question is, what I recommend is, okay, then there's services out there. Let me tell you how much these services cost, and I'll refer you to these services to get you started. Because until you get started, you're really not gonna reap the rewards of it.
Right.
It's more organic, so it takes time. You don't have to pay for everything, but you need to do the posting.
You do.
Yeah.
And even in some of those services, you know, like I worked with a dentist, and he had hired somebody for a whole year. They were putting up good quality content. Nobody was looking at it.
Yeah.
In 1 week, I did one post that had bigger reach than his previous 6 months.
And like I said,
Because it was
it's
real.
not just doing it, isn't gonna give you
It was
the
real.
results.
It was
You have
cheap.
to understand
It was
what you're doing,
To me, it was
why you're doing it,
business.
and how it's going to equal what
It's
your
a business.
accomplishment
It was
is.
like, you know, make sure you
Whether
brush
it's
your teeth at
branding,
night, or see your dentist
whether
every
it's
4
getting
months,
more
or
customers,
I put
whatever
up
it
a real
is,
photo,
there's a strategy
just
on
put it
how
on.
to do it.
Right.
Is
So-
your county supervisor guide?
And if you don't wanna learn this, which it takes a lot of time, because
I'm probably not gonna
there's a lot of
learn it
people
anyway.
posting, but they don't really understand the strategy to turn it into what they want it to turn into. So then you need to hire somebody or learn it yourself. You can learn it yourself, it just takes time. If you don't have the time, you'll hire somebody.
Well, if you
that
hire
knows how to
somebody,
do this.
hire him, hire CJ.
So there are people like me that'll do it. I mean, this is
Yeah.
what I do for a living.
Yeah.
So I have two processes. I sit and I give strategy, because I find that people don't know what to post. So I meet with them and I teach them strategy, or like Smoking Pig, I do all their posting.
Yeah,
I don't like that, but I'm paid very well to do it.
yeah, yeah.
And I have a kid going to college, and she wants me to pay for it.
Aw,
Motivated.
isn't that sweet?
It's so sweet.
CJ,
I'll do anything.
I'm bringing something really fun. I owned a bookstore, a brick-and-mortar bookstore in Los Gatos. And the way we advertised is we got little kids to take pieces of paper with our ad on it and put it under the windshield wiper. And that's the way we did it in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And we paid them donuts.
Yay!
And our
Entrepreneur.
response was usually 1 out of every 50 we'd get a response.
Wow.
That's good.
Okay.
That still works. That
So
still works.
putting up a book a week is actually a good campaign in itself. There's so many spiritual books out there. So I'm just trying to, I really want to just trigger these weekly campaigns and then trigger people sharing and liking stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that for 2 days. I went through and all of everybody that that I had gotten a post from, I went back and said, whoa, that's cool. Yeah, whoa, awesome. You know, and it like took hours.
It does. And I hear it all the time. People don't have time for it. But social media, everybody should be spending X amount of time on marketing.
Well, I did it for 2
Right?
days. What did
And
I
people
do?
are always hung up on operations. I get operations puts money in the bank, but you need to have a budget. X amount of money that comes in should go back out in marketing. Whatever that number is. 20 is a standard answer. But you've got to spend time on marketing. I've talked to shopkeepers and they're like, I've never done marketing. I'm hurting for business and I've never done marketing. And I'm like, okay, gotta think about how to respond to that politely.
How's it working for you?
Right, you know, it's like, okay, don't be a smartass, don't be a smartass. This time. Yes.
So is there a particular time of day that is best?
I've heard way too many different answers to that. I went to a Facebook event once and they said posting at 10 o'clock at night is the best time. I completely disagree. I've tested it myself.
Not for seasonal.
I'm most awake at 10 a.m. in the morning, so I post at 10 a.m. That's when I'm most alert. Posting right before lunch is a good one.
Demographics are that you're trying to go
Yes,
after.
knowing who your target demographic is important. Like if you're going after the 9 to 5ers, post at 5:30. Right, so
PM or AM?
find out, well, for them, you could schedule it to go out at 5:30 so they get off work and they check. But high-tech people often. So when you go to do a post, you know where it says publish? Right next to it's a little toggle, a down arrow. Click on that, and it'll bring it down to schedule or draft. Click on schedule, it brings up a calendar, you just kind of fill it in. As I was mentioning, I set on Monday, I would set up the whole week for Sonoma Chicken Coop.
Yeah, because on Sunday I find all kinds of stuff to post, but if I post all of it at once, then I have nothing to post.
Right, and you want to post every day. If you get to the point where you do one in the AM and one in the PM, is the ultimate. 10 times a week is a good target, but really straight up, if I find just posting 5 times a week is a very good start. You want to do it more days than not, but you want to get up to the point where you're doing 10 a day. I mean, 10
a week.
10 a week, no more than 3 a day, and not within the same hour. So posting whenever you know, just see what happens to your reach and your audience. I've posted a couple weeks ago, I posted at 10 p.m. just for fun, and by the morning I had hundreds of likes. I was just stunned. But I actually, when I can't sleep, I watch, and you can see activity on your page all night long. Because everybody has their own clocks.
Friday night, people are on Facebook, I swear to God. They don't go dancing anymore, they sit at home and do Facebook.
Or they go out dancing, but they do Facebook while they're...
Exactly.
While they're dancing, they take a Facebook break.
Exactly.
Instead of a smoke break.
Any other questions I could help you with today?
Hey, you're awesome. Thank you.
And the news feed.
What's that?
There's a post, and then there's what's in your news feed, and then there, I don't know, I'm a little confused by the language.
So posting is you putting up content yourself. So you're posting the content, which then goes through other people's news feeds. On your profile page, you have a news feed. Those are all your friends that are doing posting and pages that you've liked.
Okay.
And so the news feed is the endless scrolling of stuff. Chaos, yes. But you want to be posting yourself on your business page, which you're going to create at some point.
Right.
Nice shirt, by the way. I like that shirt.
So
let's see the shirt.
Class on how to
nice
create a business page, or is it not, doesn't take
I was just
class?
going to ask him that.
Okay.
We can do that. My hope, if you found this informative, I'm willing to come back every month.
Oh, wow.
And we'll just kind of, we'll focus on the center, and then we'll focus on your own stuff. Because everything we've talked about today, you can apply to your own thing. Now, if you're a healer here, I want to ratchet up and get all the healers here trained. So we might do a special training just for the healers, right? But I love Dottie Boone. So she lets me come back once a month.
Oh, wow.
CJ, do you really have to post 10 times or 5 every day? Like,
A week.
no,
A week. Sorry.
But I'm sorry, I understood, I misspoke, but even that's a lot to post once or twice a day.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just asking if how like it matters.
so I
To build
count
following.
like each post takes about 15 minutes. Some are faster, some are longer, right? So 10 a week is a good target. That's 2.5 hours. But that's just
I know it.
that's just
The first, I mean,
you
this
also
is
want
like
to
the
be
third time
engaged.
that I've heard him.
Because the number one complaint in social media is lack of engagement, so you always want to respond. So for clients, I typically say plan on an hour a day. Now that doesn't have to be like a full hour, right? It could be 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 15 minutes there. Okay. So what I do is I put together things that you can jump in and jump out in 5 minutes. So it's like touching into stepping out. But if somebody leaves a question, you want to respond within the hour. I mean, really, is that possible? Not all the time, right? I'm with a client that can't answer, but when I walk out of a client meeting, I open up my app.
I don't know, some people
I go right after the comments. So it's just kind of setting up the process for you.
To be a big involved thing.
But
It could just be.
it does take time. But to build a business, you gotta see that time in. Right? The bigger your business gets, you can get somebody to help you or create your own support team, which is what we're doing here.
I haven't seen this for a while.
Because I'm hoping I get 2 or 3 people helping Courtney, take some pressure off of her. Like if I can get, you do Monday, you do Tuesday, you Wednesday, and Thursday, that would be great. And then we'd hold you accountable. But you could do that post anytime during the week up to that point, but schedule it.
So maybe we start doing this.
What's your business?
She makes, you know, a lot of
She makes us on
That's why I get that as a client.
I like going to Rainbow Land this morning, I thought that was fun.
It's a great topic, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different
But
things
I
you can
stand
talk
up there
about.
and I go, what am I gonna say?
Take it
And
outside.
starts happening, I go, oh, I think I
So
like
go out and do stuff, find your mom, talk about that, go for a hike, take a photo of you, de-stressing.
And you gotta make sure we brand it correctly, so